Hello everybody, welcome back to Survival Defense Tactics, helping you take care of yourself so others won't have to. Obviously I'd love for you to hit like and subscribe. If you like these videos, please do. I've also got this on a podcast. I'm doing this in video form so that way the people that don't listen to podcasts can have the same information on a video. Grab yourself a pen and a piece of paper, get ready. I'm going to be throwing a ton of information at you. You're going to want to take notes, you're going to want to write this down. And yes, I apologize for the glare off of my glasses. I have yet to solve my lighting problem, so just bear with me and we'll get through this the best we can. Alright, today's topic is titled The Well-Rounded Prepper. You'll see what this entails shortly. This is why I want you to get a pen and a piece of paper. A lot of you already have these skills, a lot of you don't. And once again, this is my opinion of things. This is not a chiseled in stone holy grail. Add to this list or take away from this list as you see fit, or according to your lifestyle, your family, your location, etc., etc. So the scenario is very simple. Also, I apologize, I have to keep looking away. I have my notes over here to the side so I can kind of keep track of where I am. I get sidetracked very easy. When the trucks stop running, when the Walmart trucks aren't running, the grocery store trucks aren't running, the lumberyard trucks, the fuel trucks, when the production trucks stop running and stop refilling the shelves at the store, which at this point will probably be looted and barren anyways, there's a list of skills I think every prepper should have. If you're a member of a prepper group like I am, no one man or woman has to carry the burden alone. The burden is shared amongst members, and while I may know 2 or 3 of these skills, somebody else in the group knows 2 or 3 different ones, so on and so on. But if you're going to start a prepper group, people with the following skills are the people that you need. First and foremost, they need to be trustworthy, and they need to be loyal. Having said that, let's get into our list. Important skills every prepper should have already or be working on now. First item on the list, as simple as it is, you need to know how to cook. Don't know how to cook, you need to learn now. And yes, that means by recipe books, by cookbooks, whatever. Get your skills of cooking up to par. You don't have to be a gourmet chef, but you need to be able to sustain life. And of course, the rule of thumb with cooking with preppers, you hear all these preppers say, well, I'm gonna stock up on ramen noodles. That's fine and dandy, go ahead. If you don't eat ramen noodles on a regular basis to begin with, you're gonna experience a little bit of culture shock. And by that, I mean, one of the biggest things you can do in a survival situation is keep things as normal as you possibly can. Some things are going to be very limited. Some things are going to be unobtainable. But my recommendation is if you don't already eat ramen noodles, don't store them up. It's going to be a foreign taste to you. Yeah, they're stupid easy to cook. They're very easy, cheap to buy. Yes, they'll sustain life. If it's just not something that you normally eat, I wouldn't stock it up. Henceforth, culture shock. You want to try to keep things as normal in your household as you possibly can. It helps build morale, and it helps keep your nutrition value at somewhat of a constant. All right, next skill, cleaning, house and clothes. Dirty clothes, yep, you will be outside, you'll be mending fences, tending to the livestock, hunting, fishing, you're going to be doing all kinds of stuff. Clean clothes is important. You're not going to die if you wear the same pair of pants 2 or 3 days in a row. That's not what I'm getting at. But cleanliness is important for hygiene and sanitation, many other reasons. Cleaning your house, you're going to have to keep your house as clean as humanly possible. For you millennials that are sitting there shaking your head going, I'm not cleaning my house. I don't care, it's your house. But you're going to have to keep the sanitation and the hygiene at a bare minimum to sustain your life and whoever may be with you. Next skill, you need to learn how to hunt. If you don't know how to hunt, please learn. It doesn't have to be elk and moose and all that. I'm talking more like rabbits, squirrels, small game, something that you can put on the table as food for protein. You're going to need to eat. There's no way around it. And eating ramen noodles every day is going to get old really quick. So hunting is a very, very valuable skill. And having said that, let me be very specific when I say this. There are going to be people that tell you that if you hunt with a bow, you have to spend a bare minimum of $1,000 to buy a bow that will kill anything, and that is total bullshit. I own 2 compound bows and a recurve bow, and the most expensive one I own is a crossbow that cost me $300. And both of my compound bows, my recurve bow, both of my crossbows will easily drop a deer. So all this bullshit about, well, you can't hunt unless you have high dollar equipment, well, that's a load of crap. Same goes for rifles. If you hunt deer, I have a Remington 730-06. I have modified it ever so slightly to be super accurate, and in doing so, I have made it my primary hunting rifle. The rifle itself, way back when I bought it, I think the rifle, it was called a combo because it came with scope and rings, and of course I changed the scope out. I didn't want that Simmons scope. I got me a better scope. I think I paid $300 for that rifle and the scope that came with it. By the time I put a new scope on it and modified it the way I wanted it modified, I've probably got about $500 invested in my rifle. It is not a Benelli, Thompson Center, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 rifle. It's a $300 rifle, and it will knock a deer smooth on his ass every time I pull that trigger. With that comes, you need to practice. You need to be accurate with it. You spraying rounds into the grass hoping something falls over is not going to get the job done. All that's going to do is give away your position and the money you've wasted on the ammunition. So be smart about it. Next item on the list is fishing. And fishing, having something in common with hunting. No, you don't have to have $200 rod and reel combos. Yeah, Abu Garcias are nice, all that good stuff. My favorite fishing reel of all time is a Zebco 33 Classic. And I think they're about 40 bucks a piece, rod reel combo. Comes with string, comes with everything. You got to have the tackle to go with it, depending upon what you're fishing for. And yet again, like I said, this list is not totally inclusive. If you live on a Gulf Coast and you're going to be ocean fishing, that Zebco 33 is not going to do you very much good at all. You're going to need a sea pole, something a hell of a lot bigger. While at the same time, me living in the middle of Okey-Dokeyville, I have absolutely no use for a sea pole. None whatsoever. I'm not going to buy one. So this list, as I said in the beginning, is not inclusive. You take away from it or you add to it as you need to be for your situation, your environment, so on and so forth. Next item on the list, gardening and canning. If you don't know how to grow a vegetable garden, you're going to wish you did. There are so many benefits of growing your own garden as opposed to buying store-bought. I'm not even going to get into that list of the benefits. The benefits are just, they're horrific. Yes, you have to put work into a garden. It's not just going to pop up and do everything on its own. You're going to have to till the soil, plant it, fertilize it, all that good stuff, water it. Excuse me. And eventually you're going to have to harvest it. Once the harvesting's done, then you're going to have to can it, save it, store it. Ball, B-A-L-L, Complete Home Guide to Canning, I believe is the name of it. I have a book of it right there. Home Preserving. Not Home Canning, the Home Preserving. Is a hell of a good book. Recipe after recipe, step-by-step instructions. Buy yourself a pressure canner and a hot water bath. Yes, I'm telling you to spend money. I hate doing that, but you're not going to get prepared without having to sacrifice some money. So that's just part of it. Or maybe you're very good with bartering. You can trade somebody something or another for some of the stuff you need. Bartering is also a super handy skill. All right, for those of you that have a more forgiving city ordinances, if you live in the cities, backyard rabbits and chickens. I can't brag near enough on rabbits and chickens. Chickens produce eggs. They will, if you continue their cycle of life, by rotating them out every so many years. Then chickens are a almost completely self-sustaining breed. They eat bugs and worms in the summertime. Of course, you'll supplement them with, you know, store-bought feed or the homemade feed that I recommended in a different video. They provide eggs. Obviously, they provide fresh chicken, and buy you some books on the whole particulars of how many chickens you need for your family to keep the cycle of life going and to keep everybody well fed. Rabbits are the same way. Get a book. I have two different breeds of rabbits. I have a New Zealand breed and I have a California breed. They're both roughly almost identical in size and everything. Having two different breeds of rabbits gives you three different options when it's time for reproduction of rabbits. You can keep the New Zealand breed all New Zealand. You can keep the Californians all Californian. And then you can do the crossbreed. Either way you look at it. If you're growing rabbits for your meat and your meat only, you're probably not going to be quite as anal about the crossbreed. The purebreds are going to be more for show rabbits and for sale and things of that nature. So rabbits and chickens. A chicken coop is not super hard to build. You can buy them pre-made for just a few, that holds just a few rabbits. Do the math, do the research. Chickens and rabbits, I'll never ever be able to brag near enough on the reproductive food supply they make, and plus the rabbits give you free fertilizer, so for your garden. All right, next item on the list, auto maintenance mechanic. I say that loosely. Do not think I am endorsing you take an ASE course and become a master mechanic, world-class technician. I'm talking about learning how to work on your own cars, change your own oil, change your air filters, keep your tires aired up, know how to rotate your own tires, know how to, there's just so many things. Check your power steering fluid, your brake fluid. Auto maintenance itself is its own devil. You have to learn how to maintenance your own car and be proficient at it. If you have several different vehicles, you need to learn how to maintain all of them. And as far as the mechanic part of that conversation goes, I am really referring to light mechanic work. Let's say you break the serpentine belt. You're told it wears out, it breaks, it's going to happen, it's a moving part, of course it's going to wear out. You can pay somebody hundreds of dollars to change that belt for you, or you can take your happy ass down to AutoZone, buy a replacement belt for whatever they are, $50 to $100, put the belt on yourself with the right tools, and save yourself a ton of money. You're out a few minutes of time to be able to save yourself a lot of money. So with that also comes the right set of tools. Almost everything these days is metric, so if you're smart, you'll get a small metric tool set and a small standard tool set for anything that may still be standard on either your car or your small engine stuff that you're going to be repairing. Gun maintenance. If you're a shooter, I don't care if you have one gun or you have 1,000 guns, you're going to need to have gun cleaning equipment. If you do not clean your gun and it jams on you when you need it the most, pat yourself on the back for being retarded. If you don't take care of your gun, it is not going to take care of you. If you don't take care of your car, it's not going to take care of you. This just keeps going and going. Knife sharpening, everything. If you want it to work right, you're going to have to maintain it. Learn how to do it. All right. Some of us out there are avid shooters and we like to reload our ammunition. That's another very valuable skill. Reloading ammunition has always been cheaper than buying ammunition. It will cost you time. And of course the initial setup of buying the press, the dies, and all the stuff that you need to do to reload your own ammo. Me personally, I reload because it's very relaxing. It's in a way therapeutic, I guess. So I enjoy reloading not only for the money aspect of it, but for the peace and quiet and the calm that it brings. I said this earlier, knife sharpening. If you don't know how to sharpen a knife, learn. Buy a inexpensive knife sharpener and get good at sharpening your own knives. Sure, you've got a pal in the group that's really good at sharpening knives, but it could be a skill and it's not that hard to learn. Just remember a 17-degree offset and you're pretty much good to go. Basic carpentry work. I'm not talking about building skyscrapers. I'm talking about fixing a door that sticks, a window that doesn't want to shut all the way, things of that nature. Very, very basic carpentry skills. Along with that, plumbing skills. If you get a plugged toilet, a clogged up toilet, are you calling a plumber when the crap hits the fan? No pun intended. Or are you going to be able to take care of this yourself? If you're able to take care of it yourself now, you're better off when crap does hit the fan. You're better prepared. You're more confident in your abilities in doing things, and you're further down the road than most people by being able to do things for yourself. Basic electrical wiring. I'm not talking about wiring an entire house. I'm talking about if you have a light switch that burns out, a wall outlet that burns out, do you know how to safely change one out? Not hard. Electrical tools are not that expensive. They are electrically insulated. So you have to have special tools, but you don't need $10,000 worth of them. You don't even need $1,000 worth of them. And dare I say, you don't even need $100 worth of them. A good set of electrical tools for home maintenance is probably going to run you around 40 or 50 bucks, give or take. This is October 29th, 2023 when I said this. For all I know, a small set of electrical tools now costs $300. I have no idea. I've already got mine, so I don't worry about it too much. All right, next item on the list, and this is a three-piece section. First aid, CPR, and dental care. First aid, that's a given. Something beyond slapping on Band-Aids and flushing it out with hydrogen peroxide. I'm talking about, do you know how to take care of a gunshot wound? What about a deep laceration? What about somebody that falls over heat stroke, hypothermia? The list goes on of things that you could possibly face for first aid. CPR, that's kind of a given. Learn CPR for not only adults but for children. Learn it well, because CPR for a child is not like it is for an adult. They do not cross over. You have to learn both different styles. And then dental care, what I mean by dental care is what you do in the event of a toothache and there are no more dentists. I don't expect everybody to grab a pair of channel locks and start popping teeth out, but there are tricks of the trade you can use to alleviate that toothache. So, you know, Red Cross toothache medicine, clove oil, vodka. There's numerous ways of helping alleviate a toothache. All right, sewing. Before you guys start laughing and rolling your eyes, that's a woman's job. If you're like me, you don't have a woman in the house, you have to learn how to do this stuff yourself. Now, when I was married, before Kathy passed away, Kathy was a sewing goddess. She could do almost anything, either with a sewing machine or by hand. Very, very gifted, very talented. So in sewing, I'm not talking about making yourself a wardrobe per se. I'm talking about repairing the clothing you have. Keep in mind, this whole scenario started with if the truck stopped running and the store shelves are barren and empty. You're going to have to fix your own clothes. This could include your shoes. So be prepared for that. Next item on the list, every single person watching this video, bar none, no exceptions, you need to understand basic self-defense. You need to be able to protect yourself hand to hand, with a knife, with a gun, frying pan, baseball bat, so on, so on, so on. I don't care what weapon you have at hand. Your life is more valuable than the life of the person trying to take it. Somebody is counting on you to be there when the sun comes up. Be prepared to defend yourself. Learn how to do it. Like I said, no exceptions. Bartering. Said this earlier. Bartering is a very, very handy skill for preppers. And bartering is nothing more than the trading of goods as opposed to trading something for money. So if I had a extra bucket of garden seeds and the guy down the road needed them but didn't have any cash, well, maybe he's got some extra goat feed and we can just trade. Bartering means trading. No cash, no precious metals, trading one good for another good straight across the board. And when y'all come up to an agreement that you both believe is fair for the trade, make the trade. Home security. I have a home security system that's comprised of 8 cameras and a driveway alarm, motion detectors, all that good stuff. If the grid goes down, the power goes out, every bit of that stuff is junk.